Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a Thursday night football version of the Big Seed Sports Podcast and this watch party for what should be a good game tonight between the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks from Jerry World in Arlington, Texas. I'm here in my makeshift studio slash office in Charlotte, North Carolina. Thanks to all those that are watching live or that may be watching this on repeat. If you have not done so, please make sure you do what it says down here and you can like and subscribe to the show. You can also donate to the show as well to improve it through Venmo or Cash App CJ Pronk. But I appreciate all those that are joining live. Again, this should be an excellent game. You guys clearly can tell if you don't already know by now where my allegiance lies, and that is with the Dallas Cowboys. However, I definitely will try to make this as impartial as I can. I'm expecting a competitive game. The line currently sits at 9.5 points right now in favor of the Dallas Cowboys, who have been excellent at home this season. But anything can happen. It's prime time. Honestly, the majority of these primetime games this year have been low scoring. So it's not like we've seen offensive explosions throughout these games. So it should be very interesting to see what happens here. As always, guys, please make sure, again, to like and subscribe wherever you may be watching. Also, feel free to comment anything you guys want to talk about, whether it has to do with the game or not. We can talk about really anything sports related if you guys like. You can always make sure to throw a comment in there, and I'll see if we can get to it and kind of talk about it today. But we're about, looks like maybe 10-ish minutes or so from kickoff. Just kind of wanted to talk about kind of the way that these two teams are trending right now. First, we'll start with the Dallas Cowboys. Again, they are at home. They've won 4 of their last 5. Loss coming against the Philadelphia Eagles in a tight one in Philly. Was a very good game start to finish. Cowboys hung with them with the team that a lot of people think is the best team in the league, possibly, and the Philadelphia Eagles. You look at the Seattle Seahawks, they have lost 3 of their last 5 games. They had very tough matchups in some of those games. They were able to beat the Cleveland Browns, who do have the best defense in the league, despite having major injury issues on the offensive side of the ball. We've also seen them get blown out by the Baltimore Ravens, who have been very good. Some people think are the best team in the AFC. They won a tight game against the Washington Commanders, took a loss to the Rams, and a pretty tough loss to the San Francisco 49ers on Thanksgiving. So this is a team in Seattle that, as of right now, is sitting at second place in their division. I do believe they are still in the wild card technically right now, but a loss would certainly hurt them going forward. They have a pretty tough schedule for the rest of the season. A lot like the Dallas Cowboys have a very tough schedule going forward right now for the rest of the season. The narrative around the Cowboys this year has been that they beat bad teams, right? That's kind of what they've done, and that they struggle against the good teams. Well, these next few games are definitely going to be challenging. They've got this game obviously at home against a winning team in Seattle. They've also still got to play the Philadelphia Eagles one more time. They've got to play the Buffalo Bills on the road. They play the Miami Dolphins on the road. They have the Detroit Lions on a Monday night at home. And they finish off the season with the Washington Commanders. So you could definitely say that this game is almost just as important to the Cowboys as it is to Seattle, even though the Cowboys would still be in the driver's seat in the wild card if they are to drop this game. But again, I'm really expecting this to be a good game tonight. I can see why the spread would be what it is at 9.5 right now in favor of the Dallas Cowboys, just because of how good they've been at home. I think it's hard, not to pay attention to that. But we'll definitely see what happens. Seahawks running out onto the field right now. Camera on Geno Smith. We'll see what he's able to do tonight against a very tough Cowboys defense. But this should be a fun game. I'm very excited for it. Yep, countdown showing about 9 minutes to kickoff here, guys. So anything you guys want to talk about, we definitely can. For those of you that may be asking, a lot of you tend to do this when I kind of do these watch parties. I will not be showing the actual game. That's not something that I'll be able to do. I mean, I technically I could do it. Obviously, I could share my screen and stream the game, but I don't feel like getting banned from every single platform that I'm currently streaming on. So, just not something that I will be doing. But we will definitely be live reacting to the game. Again, feel free to comment in the comment section there. We can talk about anything related to this game or anything else around football or the sports world that you guys do want to talk about. NBA obviously in full swing. We're sneaking up on the winter meetings for baseball. So really anything you guys wanted to, we can look at. And they're kind of going through right now the Seahawks and their struggles. They're kind of showing replays of the game from Thanksgiving. And in the opposite phase, they're showing the Cowboys and how good they were on Thanksgiving, including Deron Bland. 5 pick sixes in a season is an NFL record. He was able to get that last week on Thanksgiving. The call from Jim Nantz on CBS was just legendary. I mean, as if Jim Nantz wasn't already a legend. That call of that record-breaking pick six was awesome. It's what you dream about as a sports commentator, is to be able to narrate moments like that. Dak makes a really good point. They were talking again this week, as they have most of the season. Um, they've kind of talked about how the Cowboys have played bad teams all season, and Dak made a really good point, and that's when teams play the Dallas Cowboys, they get up for it. It's a team that more oftentimes than not is going to be playing on prime time. It's obviously one of the marquee teams in the NFL. They travel well. Fans in every city, wherever you go. I know that obviously I live in Charlotte, and when they were here in Charlotte a couple weeks ago, wasn't able to go to the game because of how ridiculously expensive the tickets were, just due to the fact that it was the Dallas Cowboys coming to town. But it was, I would say, probably 70% Cowboys fans in that stadium. It was one of the only weeks this year that stadium actually looked full, and it was because of how many Cowboys fans there were there in Charlotte. So he's right. Teams get up when they play the Dallas Cowboys. Teams kind of tend to have a little bit more motivation, a little more oomph when they're playing against the Dallas Cowboys, even if they are record-wise not great. It does tend to be that way. But want to appreciate those that are kind of slowly trickling in to the live here. Again, if you have not done so already, please make sure to like and subscribe or follow wherever you are watching. Also, those that are watching, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the game or anything that you guys want to talk about. We definitely can. But we are getting very, very close to kickoff here. Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit are narrating, so it looks like we're just a few minutes away. Teams are out onto the field. We do have a comment here from Austin. Austin says, do you think there's any way Rodgers plays this year, even if they're not in playoff contention? So, very interesting question, because for those of you that did not see, Aaron Rodgers was actually on the practice field today in New Jersey at the Jets facility. He was limited, but he was practicing. And it's crazy to think that, not very long ago, the last image that we did see of Aaron Rodgers on a football field was him tearing his Achilles, just a few short months ago, and now he's already practicing. I will say this. I watch the Pat McAfee show pretty much every day, and especially on Tuesdays when he's on. So I've been following his rehab as closely as anybody can, with the fact that he's on that show, and he's extremely open about that rehab. He has made it very clear that his goal is to come back and play this year. But he's also made it very clear that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for him to come back if the Jets have no shot at making the playoffs. And, at this point, I think the Jets are sitting at 4-7. I don't have the standings up, but I'm pretty positive they're sitting at 4-7 right now. It's going to be very tough for them to get into the playoffs. So I will say this: they've opened up his 21-day, his 21-day window to where he can practice, and then within those 21 days, if they activate him, he can play. If they don't, he'll miss the rest of the season, no matter what. If the Jets do not win, I'll say at least 2 of the next 3 games, we won't see Aaron Rodgers this year. So that's going to be fully dependent upon the Jets team that can take the field, right? We saw that video of Aaron Rodgers, dropping back to pass, moving and throwing a pass right in front of Tim Boyle, who looked just shocked. It was kind of funny. You kind of saw him behind him, and I don't think he expected that he was going to take a drop back when he did. And as incredibly quick and as incredibly improbable his rehab seems to have been so far, I would be shocked just because I don't think the Jets are going to be able to win 2 of the next 3 games on their schedule without even looking at their schedule to see who they play. I just don't think it's a good possibility. If we look at their schedule right now, let me just pull it up so that we can. Yeah, I mean, they have this week they play against the Falcons. The next week it's against the Texans, and the week after that against Miami. So if they can win 2 of those 3 games, first of all, they probably deserve to have Aaron Rodgers back on the field because that means they're probably making a playoff push. But I just don't see them winning 2 of the next 3 games. So probably not. I don't think that we see Aaron Rodgers again this season other than on a practice field. Which is, I mean, it's amazing in its own right that he's even practicing, to be perfectly honest. It was, I'll say this, I mean, even nowadays with how incredible, medical technology is and how much we've advanced with medicine, a lot of times a torn Achilles is a death sentence for an athlete's career. A lot of them just don't end up coming back the same. It's just such a massive, such a devastating injury. And what's crazy about it is that you really cannot prevent it. It's pretty much always a non-contact injury when you tear your Achilles. We've seen a few of them happen this year. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers. We saw Kirk Cousins doing a move that he's done a million times, just dropping back to pass. We've seen, what else? We've seen Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins. He just tore his. And if you can, I would encourage you all to watch the in-season Hard Knocks that they do. That this year's following the Dolphins. And it was it was pretty brutal to see Jalen Phillips' reaction to that injury on the field. You could tell he basically immediately knew that that's what it was because he kept saying, "I popped my Achilles. I think I popped my Achilles." He said something along the lines of, "He feels like somebody shot him in the calf." It's awful. It's an injury from everything that I've read, and you hear people talk about it. It's just so hard to prevent an injury like that. It just, if it's going to happen, unfortunately, it ends up happening. And man, it would be great. It would be cool to see Aaron Rodgers play. I'm not going to lie, defying all odds and being able to return in the same season. But again, I just don't see the Jets being in a position where it makes any sense for him to do it. As well as all the offensive line issues they had, it's kind of part of the reason that Aaron got hurt. We'll be able to see in these next few weeks. Game is just kicking off now. The Dallas Cowboys appear to be receiving, so I'm not sure if If I had to guess, the Seahawks probably won the toss and deferred. Oh, okay. So Al Michaels says the Cowboys won the toss and actually chose to receive. So we want the football first if we're the Dallas Cowboys. And they're showing Dak's stats at home this year. There's a reason the Cowboys have been so good at home, right? He's 5-0, 78% completion percentage at home. It's just he's been fantastic. I know I'm obviously biased because I am a Cowboys fan, but he has been my so far this season MVP. He's just been that good to me. Cowboys run on the first play to Pollard. He gets a few yards up the middle there. Second and 8 here for the Cowboys. Again in the shotgun. Play action this time. And CeeDee Lamb gets to midfield on a play action pass for a first down for the Dallas Cowboys. So CeeDee lining up in the slot against Witherspoon. Seattle's first round pick just runs a simple go route, just kind of ran right by him. Looked like Seattle may have been playing, I'm not sure. They might have been playing a soft zone there, and he was just kind of able to sneak in. CeeDee Lamb, another catch here. This time not a first down, but maybe 7 or 8 yards on the slant there. And look, CeeDee Lamb had a kind of a shaky start to the season, right? Wasn't that great through the first few weeks. Richard Sherman came out and said something publicly. He's obviously on TV and things like that now. He kind of came out and called CeeDee Lamb out and said, this guy's not a number one receiver. And CeeDee Lamb's been absolutely on fire since. Tony Pollard gets the handoff here on second and short. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, though, so it'll be third down here for the Cowboys, who are top 5 in on third down this year for offenses. Seahawks are 27th in the league defensively on third down. We got 3rd and 2 here, though, for the Dallas Cowboys from the 42-yard line of Seattle. Dak will go play action. Lots of time. Looks for Brandon Cooks, who was wide open, just shy of the 20-yard line. There's another first down for the Dallas Cowboys. Second first down of the drive. Brandon Cooks has been very impressive and kind of a huge revelation as well these last few weeks for the Cowboys. Really starting to come into his own. Seattle kind of in zone coverage there, and Brandon Cooks just able to find the gap in the zone. Reverse to CeeDee Lamb over to the left side, gets across the line of scrimmage, gets maybe 4 or 5 yards there on the reverse. The Cowboys like to get CeeDee the ball in many different ways. You've seen Mike McCarthy as the play caller really understand what he's got in CeeDee Lamb and really kind of start to use him the way that he was used at Oklahoma, right? Try to get him in the open field. He's just so explosive. Hand him the ball off on reverses. They even sometimes line him up in the backfield. You see him line up in the slot. You see him line up outside. They use him in so many different ways. They go screen pass this time to Tony Pollard, who's able to get the first down. Looks like they're going to mark him at about the 13-yard line. So another first down here for the Cowboys. Not quite first and goal. But here we go. Dak under center now, an unbalanced line, kind of 3 tight ends over to the right. They're going to go to CeeDee on a slant. Good coverage there from Seattle, able to knock it down. It'll be 2nd and 10 here for the Cowboys. Really good coverage there from Seattle. Looked like they had press coverage there on the outside on CeeDee Lamb. Tolbert will motion out to the right side. Dak will take a step back. Looking end zone. Ferguson can't make the catch, incomplete. Tight coverage there from Woolen. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 here. Pretty good throw from Dak, but that was excellent coverage. Ooh, might have got away with a face mask, though. Looked like when he came across his face, it kind of looked like Woolen may have grabbed the face mask of Jake Ferguson. But regardless, it is 3rd and 10 here. Dak in the shotgun. Looks like 5 wide receivers this time. He'll take the snap. He's got lots of time again. Steps up, throws left side. Cavante Turpin makes the catch, but will it be a first down? Boy, depending on that spot, it looks like he might be just a couple inches short. There's a flag down, though. Looks like it's in the secondary, so this may be illegal contact or holding on the Seahawks. We'll see, though, because the flag was thrown in the secondary, it looks like. So there's no flag. They actually wave it off, and they actually do mark it as a first down for the Cowboys. He caught it right at the first down marker. Man, Dak had 5 seconds to throw that football. That's, any quarterback dreams of having that much time, right? So here we go. Cowboys have the ball 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Another unbalanced line. Dak turns, hands to Tony Pollard going left. Excellent stop there. Great penetration from the Seahawks front. Pollard may have lost half a yard. And it's going to be 2nd and goal here at the 2.5, maybe the 3-yard line. As they show Pete Carroll here. Dak back in the shotgun now. 3 wide receivers. One of them is Gallup. He motions in. Dak will take the snap. Play action to Pollard. Looking right. Ball knocked down by Witherspoon and incomplete. So this will be 3rd and goal here for the Cowboys from about the 3-yard line. Witherspoon came in on a corner blitz and able to knock that pass down as Dak threw it. Just about intercepted that thing. So here we go. 3rd and goal for the Cowboys. This has been a struggle for the Cowboys this year to score in the red zone. Dak takes the snap from the shotgun. And he's going to be sacked here. Excellent defensive stop from the Seattle Seahawks. The Cowboys had the ball at the 2-yard line and are going to have to settle for a field goal as Dak Prescott is sacked back at about the 12, 13-yard line. So an excellent defensive stand here from Seattle after the Cowboys were moving the ball at ease down the field. Tony Pollard initially picked that blitz up, but then gets beat. Brandon Aubrey remains perfect on the season. His kick is good. And the Cowboys able to get down the field, but they have to settle for 3 points. 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Cowboys lead this thing 3-0 after their first drive. We'll see Geno Smith in the offense now as Prime goes to a commercial here. Just want to again thank those of you that are watching live or any of you that may be watching this on repeat. Good first drive from the Cowboys there all the way up until they get to the 2-yard line. It's unfortunately for the Cowboys been a story most of the season where they've moved the ball very well, and it seems that when they get into the red zone, they have a lot of trouble finishing drives sometimes. And that's definitely what happened on that drive. Well, let me know, you guys, in the comments as well, those that are watching, kind of what you guys are thinking about the game so far. What's you guys' impression of that first drive from the Cowboys and that great defensive stand there by the Seahawks? Gotta love on these commercials for any type of pill or medicine. How when they're going through all the symptoms or all the side effects that they may cause, that it just seems to be like there's more side effects than actual benefits to all these medicines. It's funny. Have a comment here from Austin, says we need to figure out how to run the football. Yeah, it's funny. The Cowboys previously, in other seasons that Dak Prescott has been the quarterback, that's been one of their strengths, right? They've always been a running team, a team that's been able to run the football essentially whenever they want to. And that just has not been the case this year at all. Tony Pollard has had some explosive moments, but hasn't been great. Rico Dowdle has had his moments as well, but it just hasn't been consistent. The Cowboys just have not been able to run the football consistently at all. So we'll see what they're able to do going forward here. And obviously, you cannot be one-dimensional and expect to make any sort of a run in the playoffs. So we'll see. But we'll see Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks offense here for the first time. Geno Smith, who has never played against the Dallas Cowboys. 12 touchdowns, 8 interceptions on the season so far for Geno, who had a very good season last year. Hasn't quite lived up to the billing this season as far as compared to last year. Hasn't been bad. Has battled through some injuries. Here he'll stand in the pistol with Charbonnet behind him. He'll turn and hand to Charbonnet, who will get about 4 yards there on first down. As we see a little pushing and shoving after the plays over there. So 2nd and 6 here for Seattle after that first down run from Charbonnet. Charbonnet out of UCLA. Saw a lot of him being a Utah fan, watching a lot of Pac-12 football. He was very good in college. Geno will hand to Charbonnet again. Micah Parsons able to get unblocked, but he could not finish the play in the backfield. But that's going to bring up a 3rd and short now for Seattle. Showing this replay here, and Micah Parsons, he just got in the backfield with ease, but he just couldn't finish the play there. Kind of over pursued just a little bit. But this is 3rd down and short here for Seattle. It's been 2 runs so far. We'll see if we see another run here on 3rd down, or they may be going to run some play action on 3rd and 3. Looks like there may have been some movement up front. I'm not sure if the Seahawks moved or if DeMarcus Lawrence just gave Seattle a first down. False start on Seattle. Couldn't quite tell where the movement came from. They call it on number 63. I believe one of the interior. Oh, no, it's the center. They did call it on the actual center. So they called it on the center, but I think they meant to call it on the guard. I think they just said the wrong number. So now it brings up a 3rd and 8, and this is where the Cowboys tend to feast defensively on these pass rushing downs. And instead, DK Metcalf is going to break away for a long touchdown, and Seattle takes the lead here in Dallas. One of the most excellent receivers in the NFL is DK Metcalf. He breaks away for 73 yards and a touchdown to give Seattle the lead. So Geno Smith finds DK Metcalf on just a simple quick slant, but he gets right across DaRon Bland's face and able to break away for a long touchdown. And Seattle leads here in Dallas. Number one rule as a defensive back is to not let the receiver cross your face. And that's exactly what DaRon Bland let happen to him against DK Metcalf there. Just a simple quick slant on 3rd and 8. And DaRon Bland gets beat for a long touchdown. Seattle takes the lead 7-3, 7:28 to go here in the first quarter. We'll see if Dak and the offense can come out and answer. But a big-time play from Seattle there. Not expecting that one to happen at all. 3rd and 8, I was expecting the Cowboys to pin their ears back and be able to generate pressure like they have most of the season. But it did not happen. I'm going to restart my game that I'm watching here because it's being really glitchy for me. The audio's off and things like that, so it's been a little bit glitchy. Let me turn this back on here, guys. Those of you that just are joining the stream, thanks so much for doing so. If you have not done so already, guys, again, please make sure to like and subscribe to the page. Seahawks leading this one 7-3 here about midway through the first quarter. DK Metcalf with a 73-yard touchdown. Cowboys march right down the field on their first drive, but have to settle for a field goal after an excellent stand from Seattle. And Seattle, who looked to be in a pretty difficult spot, having 3rd and 8 after a false start penalty, end up getting the first down with relative ease. And more than that, they end up getting a touchdown on 3rd and 8. As DK Metcalf able to go for 73 yards in the score. Apologize for all the water breaks, guys. Apparently, my mouth's getting a little dry from all the talking here, so I apologize for that. But this is the first time. This is a crazy stat. This is the first time the Cowboys have trailed at home all year this season. In all 6 games, including this one, the 6th game that they played at home so far this year, they have not trailed even once. So showing the replay, instead of safety help up top, Donovan Wilson kind of drifted towards the middle of the field, left DaRon Bland one-on-one, and Bland got beat big time. And Geno kind of moved him with his eyes. Just excellent execution offensively. And DK hit 22 miles an hour on that touchdown. That's incredible. Handoff Pollard there on first down. Just gets 2 yards on the play there for Dallas. So another 2nd and 8 here for the Cowboys. Happened on the first drive as well. Dak in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers and also Jake Ferguson, the tight end, split out. He goes play action. And Prescott sacked for the 2nd time tonight. Taylor on the sack there. And that's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Cowboys. They brought Witherspoon on a blitz again. He was able to get Dak to start to move out of the pocket. But third and actually 16 here for the Dallas Cowboys. Empty backfield here for Dak in the shotgun. Has time this time, has to check it down to Ferguson. Ferguson able to make the catch, and he runs for the first down. Jake Ferguson, a starter this year with Dalton Schultz's departure to Houston, has had a very solid season so far for the Cowboys as their starting tight end and able to pick up the first down. Ferguson actually stayed in to help Chip and then just kind of released out to the flat. Dak checks it down to him, and Ferguson does the rest as he runs for the first down, and Bobby Wagner makes the tackle about 2 yards past the marker. Dak looking deep down the left side. Tolbert has a step, and it's incomplete, but he'll draw a flag as there was a lot of contact. That's going to be about a 30-yard penalty, it looks like, on the pass interference there. And that'll be another first down for the Cowboys, this time via penalty. So that's Woolen, who made an excellent play to break up what would have been a touchdown on the last drive. One-on-one with Jalen Tolbert. Tolbert got a step or two on him. Dak kind of purposefully slightly underthrew that, I think, because he knew if Tolbert couldn't get to it that it would be a pass interference, and that's a first down for Dallas. And they're in business in Seattle territory in the red zone. Rico Dowdle gets the pitch towards the left side, gets maybe 3 or 4 yards as he's forced out of bounds there towards the left sideline. But the Cowboys in the red zone for the second straight time. We'll see if they can actually finish this one off with a touchdown. Boy, I've already drank this whole cup of water. First quarter's not even over, guys. So 2nd and 8, a familiar down and distance this game for the Cowboys so far. They've had it 3 different times. CeeDee Lamb motions across the formation. Dak will play action this time from under center. Looking end zone, and CeeDee Lamb, touchdown Dallas Cowboys. They regain the lead. So just like that, Seattle goes down, takes the lead on the huge play from DK Metcalf. And Dak now able to find CeeDee Lamb in the end zone for a touchdown. We talked before the game started, those of you that have been watching since, about how incredible CeeDee Lamb has been over these last few games. He goes one-on-one with Witherspoon, the rookie, and simply kind of runs an out and post. He kind of heads to the corner and then heads inside on a post pattern and just able to easily beat man coverage there for the touchdown. So the Cowboys lead at 10-7 after the extra point. And just a fantastic answer from the Dallas Cowboys offense. Again, DK Metcalf gets that huge 73-yard big play on the last drive. How's it going, Jalen? Thanks for watching the stream. Appreciate it. If you have not done so, make sure to like and subscribe. I try to do these as often as I possibly can, as well as other content as well if you're not familiar with the channel. But DK Metcalf takes that big long play to make it 7-3, and the Cowboys able to quickly answer to regain the lead 10-7. Dak Prescott finds CeeDee Lamb on the play action pass for a touchdown. So great answer from the Cowboys. I will say this, though. If this is going to be a game where we see kind of back and forth like that, it won't be something that I expected. With kind of it being a shootout. The Seattle Seahawks aren't really a team that has played that way at all this season. So I would have expected this to be, a somewhat low-scoring game. Oh, Jalen, don't be what I think it is. Oh, you throwing those Eagles in the chat, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for Thank you so much for your support there, but I can't get on board with those Eagles, man. We'll see y'all next week for sure. I'm excited for that one. That should be an awesome game in Dallas against the Eagles next week. But I appreciate your support. What is that? CD. Yes, sir. CD Lamb. I love doing that. I love when I'll like be texting people, or even sometimes just when I tweet out when CD scores a touchdown, I'll just do the CD emoji and then the lamb emoji. It's perfect. Oh man. Goodness, you guys, I am drinking a lot of water. I apologize for that. Again, I think it's probably just because I'm talking, so my mouth's getting a little dry when I'm speaking there. So just got to keep those vocal cords lubricated and the mouth so that it's not dry. So here we go. Here comes the Seattle Seahawks offense back onto the field. Last time we saw them, DK Metcalf was off to the races on a 73-yard touchdown. So we'll see if the Cowboys change the way that they guard him or kind of what adjustments they make. Geno goes play action, finds Lockett, and Marquise Bell able to make the stop. I'll tell you what, guys, for those of you that may not have watched a lot of Dallas Cowboys football this year, Marquise Bell is a name that you should know and will probably get to know over these next couple of years. He's a 210-pound guy, was a safety in college, and started as a safety with the Cowboys. Dan Quinn has moved him to linebacker, and I tell you what, he has been fantastic. Again, he's an undersized guy, right? He's only 210 pounds playing linebacker, but he's so good sideline to sideline. He's an excellent tackler. As there's a flag down here on this second down, I think they may have gotten DK Metcalf for a hold. They kind of ran like a quick screen. Yeah, they did get DK on a hold there on the outside. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 20. They kind of just threw a quick screen over to Jackson Smith and Jigba. And DK gets called for a hold there on the outside. Yeah, just kind of grabbed the jersey and the shoulder pad of Jordan Lewis, who ended up making the tackle anyway. But it was right there in front of that ref that was over on that sideline. So not sure what DK thought. Okay, so Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys actually declined that penalty because it's going to bring up 3rd and about 11 maybe. So it's going to be 3rd and long instead of 2nd and long, which honestly probably makes more sense to accept that penalty. What do we got here? It's actually going to be 3rd and 7. So it either 2nd and 19 or 3rd and 7. Mike McCarthy goes with the 3rd and 7. I actually think that's probably the right play because you can still, bring up a passing situation, get Micah to rush the passer here along with others. There's a flag down. Lockett able to make the catch for the first down, but we'll check the flag here. I think the Cowboys may have jumped off sides, so yep. Dante Fowler jumped offside. I tell you what, these past few weeks, Dante Fowler's jumped off sides like 4 times. I don't know what's going on. He's more than good enough that he doesn't have to get a head start to be a good pass rusher. So I really don't know why he's had this issue the last few weeks, but I'll tell you, it's pretty frustrating. DK Metcalf lining up in the backfield. Now he motions out. Geno will take the snap, hands to Charbonnet. Not much there as Micah Parsons, along with others, including Jonathan Hankins, able to make the tackle. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 or 9, depending on that spot there. So I'll say this: the Seahawks obviously hit that explosive play for 73 yards, right, for the touchdown. Other than that, they really haven't gained a ton of yards on these other plays. Cowboys obviously with that penalty on third down, but they were able to convert the first anyway. Seahawks haven't done anything too special other than DK Metcalf, which he makes another catch. He is just abusing Deron Bland right now. That's 2 catches for DK Metcalf against Deron Bland. They're going to need some safety help. DK Metcalf already over 100 yards receiving. He just kind of lulled Deron Bland to sleep. What a play from DK Metcalf. 2 catches, 107 and a touchdown already as the Cowboys' run defense there able to stuff Charbonnet, Micah Parsons again, and an injured player for Seattle now. An offensive lineman here. It looks like he's going to have to come out of the play because they had to get the trainers out onto the field, so he'll have to come out for at least a play. And Jason Peters, the former Dallas Cowboy, is actually going to come into the game here. The 41-year-old Jason Peters, now with Seattle. So here we go. 2nd and 10 for Seattle. Just on the fringe outside of the red zone. Geno stands in the shotgun. He's going to turn and hand to Charbonnet to the right side. He's going to get about 4 yards, maybe 5, depending on the spot. Looks like they'll give him 5. So bring up a 3rd and 5. Now they are in the red zone at the 18-yard line. This has been the money down for the Seahawks so far tonight. They've been awesome on 3rd down so far. Geno in the shotgun. Micah Parsons back there. Did they give him the sack? Excellent job from Micah Parsons, just able to get right past the blocker. I don't think they gave him the sack because I think Geno just got rid of that before his knee hit the turf, but able to get just enough of Geno. Yep, he just got rid of that thing. But Micah Parsons able to get back there, and that's just an excellent play from Micah Parsons. So that'll bring up Jason Myers, who's a pretty darn good kicker. And this kick would tie the game. And it looks like we're going to get a delay of game here. Wow. So a delay of game on the field goal brings what would have been a 37-yard attempt back to 42. Huh. And I'm not sure what happened. Pete Carroll tried to call a timeout. Austin says 66 is going to have an awful film session. Yeah, he is. He got beat, and the Seahawks missed the field goal. So what a turn of events there for Seattle. They have a 37-yard field goal. They have a 37-yard field goal there. They get a delay of game penalty, and Matt Myers misses the kick wide right. Jalen, yeah, I mean, wow, that was pretty bad. I mean, that's a really bad turn of events there for Seattle. A delay of game on a field goal is pretty inexcusable unless you're trying to do it on purpose, right? I know there are some kickers that don't like kicking those really short kicks that ask like, hey, give me a few more yards of space. It's easier to not have to kick it at such an angle. You see that more, I think, in college because of how much wider the hash marks are. But I mean, that's just a bad play from Seattle there, and it ends up costing you 3 points. And against an offense that has been extremely explosive, especially at home. So, I mean, that's just poor all the way around. It's not something that you expect to see from a Pete Carroll coach team. I'm not the biggest Pete Carroll fan, but there's no denying that he's a good coach. He's been a good coach at pretty much every level that he's coached at, everywhere that he's been. So, that's just inexcusable there. You cost your team 3 points and just a really, really bad play. So it remains 10-7 Cowboys. Still here in the first quarter, not too much longer, so we'll only see a couple plays here. 58 seconds left. The Cowboys will have to run 2 plays. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to understand what Seattle was doing there. I mean, they just had like no sense of urgency whatsoever. You saw Jason Myers right before the kick. He went like this, which that's what they do. That's what the refs will do when they want the clock operator to reset that play clock for whatever reason. Whether it's that they had to respot the ball or whatever it was, they'll kind of pump their hand up to say, "Hey, reset the play clock." It's running down, but it doesn't really need to be. You saw Jason Myers doing that, so he was expecting obviously for the clock to reset, and just had no sense of urgency whatsoever. And they get a delay of game and then end up missing that field goal. So Cowboys with the football back. Dak's under center. He'll find the rookie Shoemaker out of Michigan there for the first down. Just kind of found the tight end wide open in the middle of the field, able to get about 12 yards there on first down. So this will most likely be the last play of the first quarter here. Dak stands in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to his right. And Tony Pollard will stand next to him. Dak barks out some audibles. Play action. Looking right to Turpin, and he dropped it. Jamal Adams, the little extracurricular activity there with the shove after the incomplete pass, but nothing demonstrative there. So we'll get at least one more play. We'll get at least one more play here because of the incomplete pass. 19 seconds to go in the quarter. 2nd and 10. They're talking about Dak's cadence, right? Which anybody that has social media has probably heard that, yeah, here we go. I really actually like it. It's very unique. Nobody that I've ever heard has done anything even similar to that. Oh, okay. Boy, there's some more extracurriculars there. This time from Woolen, no flag on that play. Kind of threw CeeDee Lamb out of bounds. But back to kind of the cadence there. I really liked it. I really like Dak's cadence. I think it sounds really cool. I'm obviously a big Dak supporter, but I think it's very unique and cool. I've never heard any quarterback say anything similar to that before. And I didn't really think about it the way that Aaron Rodgers was talking about it on the McAfee show the other day. He was kind of explaining how Dak's used the cadence to to go kind of along with the audibles he's able to make, the protection calls he's able to do with the line of scrimmage, and also to try to get the defense to jump off sides on several occasions. So the way that he explained it was pretty cool, just to kind of hear it from one of the best quarterback of all time's perspective on how he's used it to his success. But it's the end of the first quarter here in Dallas. We do finally reach the end. Cowboys lead at 10-7. Opening drive field goal from the Cowboys, followed up by a CeeDee Lamb touchdown on a play action pass there. They're able to actually score a red zone touchdown, which again is something they've struggled with most of the season. And I will say this, that's probably a lot to do with the lack of running game that they've had. The most success they've had running in the red zone so far this year has been Dak Prescott running the ball, which they've kind of shown a reluctancy to do. It's not like a guy like, they don't really use him in a way like the Eagles use Jalen Hurts or like the Ravens use Lamar Jackson. And obviously Dak's, not quite the runner that they are. I mean, obviously. But I still think I would like to see Dak run the ball a little bit more. But not having a guy like Ezekiel Elliott, who, say what you want about Zeke, he obviously is not who he used to be. But in the red zone, that guy was an absolute killer. He was able to find the end zone as good as just about anybody was when it got down in the red zone. Yeah, I mean, Austin, you're exactly right. Lack of a running back is the real issue. I really, really like Tony Pollard, but he is definitely coming off a pretty major injury, right? Broke his leg in the divisional round against the Niners last year in that playoff game. And I mean, he is healthy, he's back, but he hasn't really looked himself most of the year. He's had moments where he's been extremely explosive and he's looked good and he's been able to create explosive plays and things like that, but it just hasn't been consistent enough. When we've had to trust Rico Dowdle, who is a good player, right? Let's not take anything away from Rico Dowdle. He is a good player, but he's, not a starting running back in this league right now, I wouldn't say. We are back to the game here. 3rd and 4. 3 receivers to the right. Dak will stand in the shotgun. Looks like he goes kind of hard count here. And speaking of Dak running the football, he'll run the ball here on 3rd down. But it looks like he's going to be about a half yard short. And Mike McCarthy looks like he's going no matter what here. So half a yard, maybe a yard here on 4th down. Dak calling out an audible here. He's under center. Looks like he's just trying to get him to jump offside here. And they will snap it. He'll hand to Pollard left side. Pollard with a 1st down and more. Ooh, it's a coach there for Seattle over on the sideline, but he bounces right back up. But there's a 1st down for the Cowboys. Looks like, I don't know if that was the original play or not. Dak did make a couple checks at the line, but they kind of go an off-tackle run to the left. Really good block from Michael Gallup over there. Kind of had to crack down. That's like an excellent block. And obviously, anytime you get to run behind Tyron Smith, good things are usually going to happen. The guy's still got it. Dak play action here. Under pressure, he's going to flip it to Pollard, who's going to make a couple guys miss and get a 1st down. So Tony Pollard turning receiver there. Dak makes a great play to kind of shuffle past it to him. And there's a 1st down for Dallas, who's on the move again. So they go play action to Pollard. He chops Jamal Adams. Pollard gets up, gets the shuffle pass from Dak, and gets about 12 yards for the 1st down. That's a great play from both of them here. Dak barking out orders here from the shotgun in an empty backfield. He'll take the snap. Looks left, under pressure. Going to go back left to Turpin, and Turpin dropped another one. So that's 2 passes now that Kevontae Turpin has dropped in this game. Witherspoon with his nose in that play. I tell you what, he's impressed me. I've watched a couple Seahawks games this year, and Witherspoon's a stud, man. He's an awesome defensive back. He's fun to watch. He's got that swagger like most DBs do, that, he talks a lot. He's got a lot of whistle and a timeout here by Seattle. But Witherspoon, man, I like him. He's definitely a little bit of an instigator, but I think you like that. Obviously not to the point where you're getting, 15-yard penalties, which he hasn't done. He hasn't done that type of stuff. But he's definitely a guy that plays through the whistle. And he's definitely a guy that's not afraid to jab back and forth with the guy that he's guarding or the guy that he makes the tackle on. So they're showing the schedule here for the Dallas Cowboys, the next 4. We were talking about this earlier. It's definitely going to be tough, right? You got Philly at home, who a lot of people think is the best team in the league this year. They're 10-1. They got the best record. You played at Buffalo, at Miami, and then you get Detroit at home. So you're really going to find out over these next few weeks who the Cowboys are. 2nd and 10, we'll go a draw play this time to Rico Dowdle, who's running hard. Gets maybe about 7 yards or so on the draw there on 2nd and 10. That'll bring up a 3rd and short here for the Cowboys as Pollard comes back in here for this 3rd down. Dowdle gets 8 yards there on the draw. So here we go. It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Cowboys. Dak in the shotgun. Cook's in motion. Takes the snap. Looking right. CeeDee Lamb! Woo! Tried to hurdle a guy. Quandre Diggs makes the tackle, but a 1st down for Dallas. I thought that CeeDee Lamb was about to make an incredible play. And there's a flag down. And a late flag. They didn't throw this one until the play was almost over. Okay, so there's no flag. They wave it off again. So they said it was initially going to be offensive pass interference? I wonder where. Let's see. Oh, this isn't. This angle right here is kind of just showing Dak going through his progressions. But yeah, CeeDee Lamb almost made a ridiculous play. If he would have been able to hurdle over Quandre Diggs right there, that would have been just bonkers. But regardless, it's going to be 1st and goal here, which Cowboys were in this spot on the 1st drive, right? Not able to finish. And they're on the same spot here on the 2-yard line. Dak, play action, going to roll right. Going to have to throw this thing out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. And another flag. Boy, if the Cowboys could learn to score in the freaking red zone, I mean, this is just me as a fan talking right now. If they could learn to score in the freaking red zone, that'd be great because this is ridiculous. And this is an ineligible man downfield here on the Cowboys. So it'll still be 1st and goal, but instead it'll be from the 7. I mean, I don't understand. I don't think it's anything to do, maybe not anything, but I don't think that play calling is the issue most times when we're in this red zone here because man, it's frustrating, guys, to see the offense move the ball essentially at will almost the rest of this field and then get inside the 20, get inside the 10, and just not be able to freaking score. Prescott, a lot of time, rolling right, looking end zone, incomplete. Tried to get to CeeDee Lamb. Kind of threw it inside shoulder to CeeDee there, where either CeeDee was going to grab that or nobody was going to. Tight coverage there in the back of the end zone. 2nd and goal here from the 7-yard line. Seattle's defense, man, has really tightened up, though. Like I said, the Cowboys have moved the ball pretty much at will down the field most of this game. But when they've gotten in the red zone, really haven't been able to move the ball that well. Prescott takes the snap, looks end zone. Brandon Cooks for the touchdown. Brandon Cooks finds the end zone here, and the Cowboys extend their lead 16-7 pending the extra point. So they blitzed a backer up the middle, and Cook's just able to find the hole. That's an excellent read from Dak to see the blitz. But that linebacker came almost untouched until the end where Tyron Smith got him. But Dak able to find exactly where that linebacker blitzed from, and that's where Cooks was for the touchdown. Aubrey does make the extra point. 17-7 lead here for the Dallas Cowboys. Here in the 2nd quarter. I'll be right back, you guys. I'm going to fill my water back up. Like I said, I already drank a whole thing of water. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. All right, you guys. Thanks so much for hanging on here. Just had to go fill up my water. Looks like I made it back just in time here too. So the Cowboys again open up their lead here, 17-7. One touchdown from CeeDee Lamb, the other from Brandon Cooks, both thrown by Dak Prescott. Brandon Aubrey kicks that one out of the back of the end zone, and we'll see the Seahawks back on the field here on offense, who have had two good drives, right? You got the 73-yard touchdown on third down of the first drive. Your second drive, you kind of get pretty far down the field, are set up to kick a 37-yard field goal. Then you get the delay of game that pushes you back 5 yards, so you have to kick it from 42. And Jason Myers misses that thing wide to the right as Fant makes the catch here on first down, and that's enough for a first down again. Seemed to be wide open over on that left side there. Geno makes the throw for the first down. Want to thank everybody who is watching this live or on repeat. Make sure, if you haven't done so already, guys, make sure to like and subscribe to the page wherever you are watching. If you're watching on Twitch, you can head over to my YouTube and you can subscribe there. Big Siege Sports Podcast on YouTube. Also, if you're watching on Facebook, you can do the same. But I do greatly appreciate your support either way. Hope everybody's looking forward to a great weekend. I know that for college football, we should have an awesome weekend. It's conference championship weekend here. Lots of implications for how the playoff is going to shake out. I know that I'm definitely excited for it. It's my birthday on Saturday as well, so I know I'm very excited for Saturday. DK Metcalf could have had another really big play, but he dropped that one on second down, and it's going to be incomplete. Boy, that could have been another really big play on a quick slant from DK Metcalf. Geno kind of left that one down a little bit, maybe, but still, DK should have made that catch. It hit him in the hands. So now you got 3rd and 5 here. Geno's in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers, running back in the backfield. Geno takes the snap. Looking left, he's got Jackson Smith and Jigba, who breaks a tackle and gets a first down. Austin says that Oregon-Washington game tomorrow should be awesome. Oh, absolutely. That Pac-12 championship tomorrow, that is on by itself there. It's not on Saturday. It's going to be tomorrow. That one's going to be awesome as well, for sure. And an extremely important game when it comes to playoff implications, right? I honestly think probably whoever wins that game is getting into the playoff. A one-loss Oregon, I think, has more than enough argument to say that they get in. There's going to be a pass interference penalty on the Dallas Cowboys that's going to give Seattle first and, I think, goal. Rashaan Evans doesn't get his head around and runs right into Tyler Lockett, who draws the flag inside the 5. Austin says by itself. What about the Boise UNLV game? That is on as well, yes, for sure. But, I would say the Washington-Oregon game is a lot more important when it comes to playoff implications than Boise State UNLV. Geno stands in the shotgun, looks left, got Smith and Jigba, but he overthrew him. Incomplete. It'll be second and goal for the Seahawks. Smith and Jigba, man, I tell you this, I'm a University of Utah football fan, and he absolutely destroyed the Utes almost by himself in the Rose Bowl a few years ago. Now, I will say this, a running back was playing corner that game for Utah, as Osa Odigizua makes a huge play in the backfield, and that's going to bring up a third and goal for the Seahawks. Man, Osa's had an awesome season. But yeah, back to Jackson Smith and Jigba, man. He was incredible in that Rose Bowl game against the Utes a few years ago. And he's had some really good moments here for Seattle. Third and goal from the 14 here after the sack, or after the tackle for loss, I guess, on the running play. Geno looking incomplete, looking for Smith and Jigba, and there's another flag on the field. Boy, I don't know about that one. I want to see the replay here, but I don't think that Stephon Gilmore has to get a penalty guarding Jackson Smith and Jigba. I'm sorry, but I don't think so. Oh, they didn't call it on Smith and Jigba. They call it on 28. So Malik Hooker. Okay, now they correct it. So let's see what Gilly did here, because okay, no, that's definitely a penalty. He he thought he could trick us with a veteran move to grab that shoulder there. Charbonnet gets the handoff up the middle, and he scores a touchdown. So that'll be 13-17, pending the extra point here. But the Seahawks able to answer back after the Cowboys with 2 huge penalties. When the Seahawks really weren't moving the ball that well, 2 big penalties get them down the field, and it's up to Dak and the offense to see if they can continue to keep pace. So Myers, see if he can redeem himself here after missing the field goal. Kick is up and good for Myers. So 17-14. Seahawks cut the lead to 3 with 8:54 to go here in the second quarter. 2 big Cowboys penalties give the Seahawks great field position, and they're able to get a touchdown. Zach Charbonnet's first career NFL touchdown. So good for Zach Charbonnet there, man. Just trying to check out the stats here from this game. So Dak Prescott so far 12 of 18 for 148 and 2 touchdowns. Has been sacked twice. That's obviously not ideal. Tony Pollard 5 carries but only 14 yards in this game. CeeDee Lamb leads the Cowboys with 5 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Been targeted 7 times. Brandon Cooks, who had the other touchdown, has 2 catches, 26 yards, and of course that touchdown. Jake Ferguson, 1 catch for 17. Tony Pollard, even though he has not been able to run the ball well, does have 2 catches for 17 yards. We go to the Seattle side of the ball. Geno, 7 of 10 for 144 and a score. Obviously, 73 of those coming on that huge play on the quick slant to DK Metcalf in the first quarter. Charbonnet does have that touchdown that he just scored, but on 8 carries, only 15 yards. Cowboys have done a really good job stopping the run so far in this game. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, DK Metcalf does have a 73-yard touchdown. His other catch was just as good as well, not just as good, but 34 yards on the other catch that he did have there. So far, I would say that our player of the game is Dak Prescott, 148, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, as Deion Sanders is at the game tonight in Jerry World. Colorado, who start the season pretty strong, did not have a great ending to the season as they ended 4-8. So here comes the Cowboys offense here. 1st and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys. 8:54 to go here in the second quarter. Dak stands in the shotgun. It's going to turn and hand to Tony Pollard on first down. Only 2 yards on the play. Oh, man. Boy, not being able to run the ball, guys, is not good. Prescott, play action. Throw to Ferguson, who hurdles a defender. Woo! Jake Ferguson. That was a successful hurdle that time over Quandre Diggs. Jake Ferguson, man, I'm telling you, I tried to tell people going into this season, he's got incredible potential. He's an awesome player. But 3rd and 1 for the Cowboys here. Prescott hands to Tony Pollard, who's got the first down and a couple more. Cowboys able to keep the drive going there after the first down or 3rd down conversion. Just about 7 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Dak's under center. Cavante Turpin in motion. Dak will go play action. He'll find Jake Ferguson on the tight end screen. That'll be about 12 yards and a first down. I'm telling you, man, Jake Ferguson is a name that you guys should remember. He's going to be a very good player in this league and has shown a lot of potential already. Dak in the shotgun, looks middle of the field. CeeDee Lamb makes the catch in press coverage. What a catch. In tight coverage. Dak put that ball through a donut hole as well. I mean, this is incredible. This is a little bit of a play that you might just watch and say, what, he just caught a quick slant. But the ball placement and the concentration that it takes by both the quarterback and the receiver to make that play right there that's pretty dang impressive. Rico Dowdle gets the handoff here on 2nd and 1. Just shy of the first down, though. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to say this a lot. The lack of running game is very concerning to me as a Cowboys fan. If you're a completely one-dimensional team, as good as Dak has been, you cannot be one-dimensional and expect to have a ton of success. Quarterback sneak here on 3rd and inches. Dak able to pick up the first down. Dak helping Zach Martin up from the pile there. One of the best guards, if not the best guard in football, Zach Martin, who has more Pro Bowl appearances than holding penalties in his career. How about that stat? I think that's pretty good. Dak in the shotgun again. Going to throw out to CeeDee Lamb and a quick pass over to the left side there. Gets about 7 yards. Boy, Jamal Adams, man, talks a lot of junk for a guy that can't cover. I'll tell you what, Jamal Adams is a safety, but if you watch him play, you guys, whatever team he plays for hides him so that he doesn't have to be in coverage all that much. They blitz him a lot, and he's good in the run game, and he's a good player. I'm not going to say that he's not a good player, but when it comes to making him cover, it's just not his strength. He really struggles in coverage, which is kind of funny to say about a safety in the NFL. But Jamal Adams is a guy that really struggles in coverage. Cowboys able to pick up the first down there. Good block by Jake Ferguson, and Pollard gets just enough for the first down. Dak will take the snap, and Tony Pollard tackled in the backfield by Jordan Reed. Loss of 4, it looks like there. Really, really bad. Biotis just completely missed that block. Jordan Reed able to easily get in the backfield. 2nd and 14 here. Dak back in the shotgun. Ferguson will motion across. Dak will check down to Rico Dowdle. Makes a guy miss. Yeah, Biotis does have a bad habit of doing that. It's really weird. Wait, who is this? Oh, okay. So injury here for the Seahawks. He was in the tent. I'm not sure who that was. Dak in the shotgun. 3rd and 7, finding Brandon Cooks again. Cooks makes a man miss. There's a first down. I believe this is going to be in 10, though. I think he's just short of the 10-yard line. And it'll be the 2-minute warning. Brandon Cooks with another good catch to give the Cowboys a first down. Seems like every time Brandon Cooks makes a catch, it's for a first down. I feel like that happens more often than not. Sorry, guys, just got a text there. But yes, 2-minute warning here in Dallas. Cowboys moving the football again with relative ease. See if they did give him 1st and goal. I don't think so. I think it's going to be 1st and 10 still. Oh no, they did give him a 1st and goal. So the spot did put it enough on the 10-yard line that it is going to be in goal instead of 1st and 10. Wow. I didn't see this news. All right, you guys, sorry. I've been on my phone here for a couple minutes there. But 2-minute warning. This is a big possession here for the Cowboys because if you can go up 10 heading into the half, I'm sure they'll probably try to take up as much time as they can here before scoring. But if you can go up 10 going into the half, the Seahawks get the ball to start the second half. So you make it so that even if the Seahawks do score coming out of the half there, you prevent them from being able to tie the game or take the lead if they do score. So Dak in the shotgun here. 1st and goal from the 10. Dak going to fake the handoff to Pollard and keep it going left. He gets about 4 yards there. And Seattle calls a timeout after that first down play. But I tell you what, Dak running the ball, especially in the red zone, man, I love it. Especially with the lack of running game the Cowboys have had from the running back position this year. I think Dak running the ball, especially in the red zone and especially, down near the goal line like this, in goal to go situations is massive. I think it is a huge boost to the offense. Dak in the shotgun again. Going to take the snap. Under pressure. Avoids the sack. There's a flag down. I think this might be a hold on the Cowboys. Yeah, I think this might be a hold on the Cowboys anyway, even with the sack. Yep, they get Tyler Smith. And they're going to take the penalty. So they'll take the 2nd and long instead of the 3rd and goal after the sack. Oof. But Leonard Williams there, able to get the sack, but yeah, Tyler Smith essentially made the tackle. Okay, here you go. Yeah, this made a lot more sense to me. So the Cowboys will have 3rd and goal now because the Seahawks changed their mind. They choose to decline the penalty. And the Cowboys are going to call a timeout because Mike McCarthy, I think, called a play for 2nd down instead of 3rd down. Yeah, that's what it looked like. Is they made that pretty late. They chose to accept the penalty or decline the penalty pretty late. So he already had a play called for 2nd and goal instead of 3rd and goal, which most likely would have been, I think, the number one reason. Obviously, you're trying to score, but the play would have been enough where if the Cowboys don't score, they can make the Seahawks burn another timeout. But here we go. Out of the timeout, the Cowboys will have 3rd and goal. What yard line are they going to be on here? So Dak in the shotgun. They're right at the 10-yard line. Dak going to scramble. Not going to quite get there, though. It's going to be 4th and goal from the 3, it looks like. And the Seahawks will use their last timeout. So 4th and goal from the 3-yard line. Let me know, guys, in the comments here. What do you do here? So you got 4th and goal from the 3. You going for this if you're Dallas? Or are you taking the points and going up 6 here by kicking the field goal? I know personally for me, I would go for this. Because if you don't get this, you're going to make the Seahawks have to go a long way to kick a field goal. Austin says kick it. So Austin would take the point. Mike McCarthy is going to go for this. So here we go. 4th and goal from the 3-yard line. Dak's in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Under pressure. Going to roll to his right. There's a flag on the play. They're going to call a hold on Terrence Steele. Dak Prescott scores a touchdown, but it's not going to count because freaking Terrence Steele held. Been the weakest link on our offensive line all season long, has Terrence Steele. And now, obviously, you kick it. I'm going to have a hard time hiding my frustration with Terrence Steele, you guys. He didn't have to do that. That's just such a lazy play. Ooh, Dak probably could have thrown that thing to CD. So Brandon Aubrey will kick the field goal here. 31-yarder. (20-14). And there's a flag. Okay. Okay, so this is interesting here. There's a push. There's a push. So I don't know if this is a dead ball penalty, though. I think that the Cowboys would have to take this thing on the kick. They'd have to take this thing on the kickoff. So I don't think that this penalty is going to matter and give the Cowboys offense another chance. Boy. Bit of a flop from the Cowboys offensive lineman there, but yeah, assessed on the kickoff there. So the Cowboys are going to kick this thing off from midfield, which means what you probably do is kick this thing on the ground and make the Seahawks have to return it. instead of just kicking this thing through the uprights out of the back of the end zone. So 20-14 here for the Cowboys. That's a frustrating end to that drive, though. That's another time that the Cowboys leave points on the board. Man, am I the only one, guys, that's audio is a little bit off from the from the game? I hope it's just like me on my end, but like my audio is delayed in the game, and it's really bothering me. It's really bugging me. If anybody else that's watching the game at the same time as they're watching my stream, if your audio is delayed, let me know. Yeah, Austin says mine is fine. Yeah. So it is just mine then. I kind of have to keep fiddling with it a little bit. Kind of have to exit out and go back in and I think I got it. Okay, I think mine's back to normal now. Boy, I tell you what, the Patriots guys are in a tough place right now. They're doing the promo on the game here for Steelers Patriots next week, and they show TJ Watt as the guy for the for the Steelers, and Belichick is the guy that they show for the Patriots. Austin says Seattle's defense is perfecting the bend don't break philosophy at the moment. Absolutely. You're right. You're right. Cowboys have had first and goal at the two different times, and have had to settle for field goals both times. It's pretty crazy though. So here we go. The Cowboys, instead of kind of kicking it on the ground, decide to just kind of go ahead and kick that thing through the uprights. So the Seahawks will take over here from the 25-yard line. Micah Parsons able to get in and get a hit on Geno Smith. Didn't get a sack, but he was able to hit him just as he was throwing it. Rough Geno up a little bit there and force a bad throw. Seahawks run to Charbonnet on the draw here. They have no timeouts, so the clock will continue to run. This will bring up a third down. Clock continuing to run. Cowboys choose to not call a timeout. But they are huddling up here. So here we go. Under a minute to play here. 3rd and 3 for Seattle. Geno's going to take the snap, look left, easy first down to Jackson Smith and Jigba, who gets out of bounds and stops the clock. So now if you're Seattle, you're still a bit off of field goal range, but there's enough time, and you just got out of bounds there where you can get across midfield here and get a first down. You need maybe 2, 3, maybe more first downs to get in realistic field goal range. Cowboys jumped off sides. It's Deontay Fowler again. Boy, he's frustrating. Another flag. So there's 2 flags here. The first one's definitely going to be offside on the Cowboys. Not sure what the other one's going to be. Boy, these refs have gotten together quite a bit tonight. They haven't just kind of had right off the bat what is the call and given the call. Still don't really know what the flag is here though because they're talking. Definitely one is clearly offsides on the Cowboys, but I don't know what the other one is. Both on the Cowboys. Okay. So it was actually Dorrance Armstrong, not Fowler this time, but Dorrance Armstrong jumps offside. And then the other one was illegal contact. So there's a 5-yard penalty, both of those. The first penalty is the one they accept. So they take the offside. It'll be 1st and 5 here. 36 seconds to go. Again, Seattle is out of timeouts. So there we go. Geno takes the snap. Ooh, looking for Lockett there, but DeMarcus Lawrence able to bother him enough where he misses the throw. And it'll bring up 2nd and 5, 31 seconds to go here in the half. Yeah, great pressure there from the defensive line of the Cowboys. Yeah, the Cowboys do such a good job. Dan Quinn is such a genius. He does such a good job about where he lines these players up. I mean, Micah can line up essentially anywhere, but right now he's got Micah and DeMarcus Lawrence both on the same side. They run kind of a screen here to Dallas. That's not the Dallas Cowboys. That's the running back's name is Dallas. There's another flag here, though. Holy crap. Dante Fowler offside again, guys. Again, Fowler's offside. What are we doing? He lined up offside this time. It wasn't even that he jumped. He's lining up offside. That's just not being disciplined. I mean, that's all that is, man. That's frustrating. Geno to throw, looking left. There's a catch by Lockett. I don't think he got out of... Oh, boy. They said he got out of bounds. Oh, now they don't. Okay, now they change their mind and they wind it. Geno's going to spike this thing on 2nd and 2. So now we have 3rd and 2. They are on the 39-yard line here. So this would be a 56 or 57-yard field goal, depending on how the holder normally will line up either 7 or 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. So Geno looks left, gets an easy completion to Lockett. I don't think Dan Quinn decided to tell Deron Bland to give Tyler Lockett 10 yards of cushion there, but he gave it to him. So there's 13 seconds to go here in the half. No timeouts for Seattle. They leave their offense out onto the field here. They're on the 30-yard line. They've got 3 receivers stacked over on the left side here. Geno. Looking left. He's looking to the end zone. Smith-Njigba makes the catch for the touchdown. So Seattle is just trying to get in field goal range, and instead Deron Bland gives up his 2nd touchdown of the evening. Unbelievable. That is a horrible breakdown defensively by the Dallas Cowboys. You have them in a place where all they can do is throw a pass to the end zone. Ooh, I don't know if Smith and Jigba caught that thing. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, that's an incomplete pass. So it's still going to be, regardless, it's still going to be pass interference in the end zone. Which is going to give him the ball at the 2-yard line. Okay. Terry McLaurin, who used to be a ref, is saying that he thinks that he caught this ball. Boy, I don't think he caught this thing, but they're saying that they think that he did. Call on the field is a touchdown. Deron Bland has had a terrible first half. After breaking an NFL record last week, they've absolutely abused him all game long. This is just bad. I mean, this is horrible defense by Dallas. A secondary that's been great all season, even without Trayvon Diggs. That's really, really bad. That's his Bland reading his own press clippings. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been good all game long. To me, that's an incomplete pass. But, I mean, regardless, that is just terrible, terrible defense. That's embarrassing if you're the Cowboys, especially the fact that you've had two drives. You've had two drives that have been inside the 5-yard line, and you haven't been able to get touchdowns on. You've had to settle for 2 field goals, and that's the reason why, if this call does stand, they're going to take the lead with the extra point, and they get the ball to start the second half. So you completely change the complexion of this game here if this touchdown stands. But, I mean, they're taking an awful long time to review this thing here, so. Here comes the call here. Oh, maybe not. He started to take the headphones off. So they're going to change the call. So it's not a touchdown. It's an incomplete pass. The ball is still going to be on the 2-yard line, though. So there's 7 seconds to go. You have the ball on the 2. You have the ball on the 2-yard line. They're going to leave the offense in. You have to throw this ball, right? You can't risk running the football and then just running out of time and not getting any points. I would think you have to throw this thing. Yeah, they're going to throw it. Geno throwing end zone. The easiest touchdown you will ever see. Wow. The Cowboys called a timeout before the play. Tryptophan Cowboys. Might have that turkey hangover. Who knows? Man, so Mike McCarthy calls a timeout right before that play. Boy. So we'll see. He kind of wanted to see how they were going to line up here. I mean, this is a massive moment in this game here. Deron Bland and DK Metcalf have one-on-one at the top of the screen here. And Metcalf abuses him again and scores a touchdown. There's another flag. Offside on the Cowboys, and it's a touchdown again. I mean, this is just terrible. The Cowboys should be 100% embarrassed of themselves the way that this half has ended. Deron Bland has been the worst corner on the field this game. Myers hits the extra point, and the Seahawks lead the game 21-20. That's terrible. That's just absolute garbage by the Dallas Cowboys. But I mean, what guts from the Seahawks though to take a shot like that? When they lined up in that formation where they scored what was the first touchdown, or where they kind of had the three receivers stacked. They had one in the front, one in the middle, and one all the way in the back there. I kind of thought that's maybe what they were doing was they would kind of have the guys, separate and see if they could confuse the guys that were out there guarding them. And that's exactly what they did. And I'm sure now that if you're the Cowboys, you're just going to take a knee and go to halftime. You only have 4 seconds left, so there's no way you can really do anything with 4 seconds. So really your only shot for the Cowboys to get points here before the half is if Kevontae Turpin runs it back for a touchdown, which probably isn't going to happen because Myers will kick this thing out of the back of the end zone. And instead, he squibs it. Hunter Lepke will take us to halftime, guys. So I am going to pause the stream here for halftime. 21-20 Seattle, heading to the half. Stick with us, guys. Don't go anywhere. Second half coming up here in about 15 minutes. Oh, Jalen. All right, guys. I'll be right back. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging in there. I'm not sure what happened with the stream, but I lost it. I lost it for a minute there.